Before I begin, my name is Caleb. My name is Caleb. My name is Caleb. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Caleb, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, I'm just kind of doing this as a testing shot at this point. My name is Caleb if this is the first time you're watching me, and if you've been watching me for a while now, you know that I've been gone for 2.5 years now. This is basically just going to be my comeback video. I've been through a lot in the last couple of years, and I wanted to address why I've been gone, why I decided to come back, and what I'm going to do moving forward. I've been through a lot of struggles in the last couple of years, and making this video, I finally feel ready to share that with you guys. So here we go. It's a long story. Now guys, I'm not really sure how I got to this point in my life. It's hard for me to figure out where to start. I used to come to this tree right here when I was a teenager after high school and hang out with my friends. We would call it the Terebinthian tree because how impressively large it is. So the last video I uploaded, I think, was about mid-March of 2020, I want to say. I remember it was an introduction video on myself and like why I made this channel. And ultimately, if you guys have seen that video, basically what I say is that I love helping people. I went through struggles in the past with money, and I really want to teach people the things that I think you should be learning in school, and a lot of people unfortunately aren't. Now, that kind of puts myself on a higher pedestal because, at least in my mind, because I feel like I have to meet these expectations of mentoring people and giving people the correct information. And I feel like some of my audience members, in some cases, might rely on me or trust me with the information that I provide. And at the end of the day, I'm just a 27-year-old still trying to figure out his life and learn things as I go. And so because of this, I felt a strong sense of like imposter syndrome, and I felt like I didn't know enough to teach finance or other topics that I wanted to make videos on. I know that I have a lot of information and I'm perfectly capable of teaching people, but it was hard for me mentally to feel like I was like an expert in the field because I know that I'm not. I know I have enough information to teach, and that's why I'm going to continue to make content now. But a couple years ago, it was really hard for me to feel like I was kind of being genuine. I feel like I was almost putting on a front a little bit. Not like deliberately, but I don't know. When I come back to the channel now, I just want it to be more casual. I want it to be taken less seriously. I want to diversify my styles of videos. I want to do videos on more topics that relate to my life better. Now, I still am fascinated with finance, but I'm also fascinated with, nature. I'm fascinated with my Subaru and camping and rock climbing and lots of other things. And I would love to incorporate all those things into my channel somehow while still teaching people things about finance, things about how to elevate your mind, things about how to improve your life, schedule yourself better, budget better, have better organization, be more motivated, be less depressed, all those types of things. And I want to share those things with you guys that I've learned over the last couple of years. So that's struggle number one, is imposter syndrome. Hopefully that kind of made sense. Now, the second thing that's been on my mind about this, well, I guess the second struggle I should say that I went through is back before I released that last video in the middle of March, I had recently quit a job of 3.5 years that I was working at, and I decided to go full-time. So I basically quit at the end of the year in 2021, and so I started the year January 1st with no job. And I basically just did DoorDash on the side and some like side hustle type projects here and there. But some of my videos were starting to get a lot of views at the time. And I was like, okay, well, if I can just like manage to get by and pay my bills for a couple more months, maybe I can get to a point where I can start making money from YouTube and slowly step away. And my job was also just mentally draining me every single day with like the whole COVID shutdown stuff, all the different like strict rules that we had to follow, and like management being stressed out and projecting that onto the employees. It was just too much, so I felt like that was the best thing to do at the time. And what ended up happening is during that time, I went through some really difficult issues in my personal life with family and friends and my relationship. And it caused me to become really depressed and really unmotivated. And when you need to make money, those two things don't really mix that well. So what I ended up doing is not DoorDashing enough. I wasn't making enough money. I was starting to use credit cards for my bills. And it started to get kind of out of control about a month after the last video I made. And luckily I was able to find a job by, I think, the beginning of July, so it only took a couple more months. But in that time, I was getting rejected from a bunch of different job applications, which I've never experienced before. Everybody said they were hiring when really nobody was. And during that time, I'm just accumulating more and more debt. And it ended up growing pretty high. I don't really want to talk about how much. I'm gonna save that for a different video. It was high enough to be alarming and light a fire under me. Fast forward another 6 months, it's now a year after I quit my job. I have a new job, I'm making decent money. I'm almost out of debt, but because the new job I had was a new business and like a new company, during the winter season, things slowed down a lot more than I expected and prepared for. And so all the progress I had made on my debt throughout the summer months when it was hot outside basically got reversed throughout the winter. And this cycle kind of continued for another year, still dealing with some personal issues in my life, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for this channel. Because at this point I felt like I had been gone for so long that I wasn't sure how to like reapproach it. I hold myself to like super high standards with this stuff, and I don't wanna like disappoint you guys. But it was hard for me to make more finance videos knowing that I was in a bunch of debt, because I feel like it goes against everything that I've taught on this channel so far, which is, you know, to be debt-free, get your credit score up, you know, pay for things in cash, invest for retirement. And I had kind of stopped doing all these things when I had been doing so good at them for several years. So we're at the point now where I feel like I'm ready to come back to the channel. I feel like I've gotten my ducks in a row. I still have debt to take care of, but I feel like I've grown a lot and matured a lot in the last couple years and have really sort of rediscovered what's important to me. Like, for one, I got super into rock climbing. I got a new Subaru, so I can go on all these camping trips and like off-roading trails that I've always wanted to do. I've started doing other activities that I like haven't done before that I've always been interested in. And during the time that I wasn't making videos, even though it only took me about half the time I've been gone to figure out kind of like a new direction with this channel, I feel like I still wanted to prioritize myself for a little while longer, because I really wanted to bring, you know, my best self to the table when I came back. You know, this is the first time I'm actually using this mic, and I really have no idea if it's actually transmitting this far, so I hope it's working. Feels good to be out here today. This is the first time I've filmed outside in a super long time. You know, one big thing that I've learned while I've been gone is that sometimes change is important. Sometimes you got to take breaks with your work and reassess and reevaluate and come back at it stronger. And it's okay if that takes a while. In my case, it took a little longer than I would have liked it to. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to be bringing my best self to the table. And I think I needed this to happen. So now that I've got that out of the way and I've kind of explained what I've gone through and the struggles I've faced and stuff like that, I think it's time to discuss what the plan is moving forward. Because I know a lot of you watch me for my finance content, and that's awesome. I love you all. I still get comments every day. My channel has grown 3 times in the time that I've been gone. I'm at 1,300 subscribers now. I just hit 150,000 views. I'm at 10,000 hours of watch time. I only had 480 subscribers when I left, 40,000 views, 3,000 hours of watch time or something like that. So thank you all for sticking with me throughout this, if you're still watching. But I think I need to let you guys know what my plan is moving forward to make sure that I'm still someone you're interested in watching. Yeah, like I could see myself on my watch right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, he's gonna get it first try.
Oh my God. It's like right there and it just... I got it.
All right, twice or it didn't count. Well, got a little hot outside today, so I decided to change clothes. My homie Steven hit me up to come skate with him.
Oh, I should have committed. I was scared.
Yeah. Let's go. Caveman off the curb, same clip. Let's go.
Crazy. Look at his eyes now, Caleb. He looks like one of those guys on the street. One of those crazy guys.
Best piece of advice from a fellow creator on feeling stuck.
Chase your dreams and never give up. No, but for real, just like keep going, like even when stuff gets hard, because I feel like when you feel the most stuck, that's when you actually are about to have a breakthrough. Because like, I don't know, it's always like, kind of sounds cliche, but it's like they say, like, it gets worse before it gets better. And so it's just like, I don't know, I could say all these cliche sayings, like it's the calm after the storm or whatever, and it's just like after you go through all the stuff that you have to go through, whether it's like struggling to create art or dealing with loss or any of that stuff, you just have to keep going and just stay persistent, stay consistent, and also just dedicate yourself to something that you actually care about, because I feel like too many people out here don't care about what they do, and that's the one thing is like, if you actually care about what you do, then you'll do it all the time. So do something that you actually care about. That's like the main thing, because then you won't ever give up. Like then you'll never give up, and that's how I started this. So.
So it's like 5 hours later. I'm not really sure where things are gonna end up with this video at this point, because I've filmed quite a lot of clips, probably a lot of stuff that I don't need. It's been a while since I've done this. I think the last thing I was talking about is the direction I want to take this channel moving forward. And ultimately I want to give you guys like a realer version of myself, because I have so many other interests, like camping and hiking and rock climbing, kayaking, traveling, being in nature. I'm pretty passionate about working on my car. I like skateboarding. I want to incorporate a lot of stuff where I'm kind of just documenting what's going on in my life and taking you guys on the same journey that I'm on, and being a lot more transparent about stuff, but also incorporating the same content that I was before, like finance and motivational topics and elevating your mind and those kinds of things. And I feel like with this new approach, it's going to be a lot more casual, a lot more storytelling, a lot more cinematography. You know, I want to take a step back from my desk. You're definitely going to see the desk again, and it's a completely different setup than my last video, but I just want to diversify my content a lot and really show you guys like what I'm capable of, I guess. You know, I feel like over the years I've realized that in order for me to connect with you guys more, I need to get a lot more personal with things. And not like where I'm like oversharing and like, you know, violating my own privacy. I mean like, you know, when you see me sitting at that desk with all those colored dress shirts from all my other videos, like that's not how I dress in day-to-day life. The way I talk isn't even the way I talk in day-to-day life. A lot of that stuff is super scripted. And I'm still being genuine and still trying to give you like the best of my knowledge, but I feel like I'm showing very little of my actual personality, and just like my character as like a human being, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know. I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's funny how I've spent 2 years thinking about this and I'm still having a hard time articulating it. Oh, nice. You just landed it. Sick. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this, one of the biggest lessons, is that sometimes you got to go through some dark times to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I know that sounds really cliche, but I think going through chaos and hardships really teaches you what is actually valuable to you in the long run. Like, it shows you what matters and what doesn't matter. Because when you come out of hardship and come out of challenging times in your life, you have such better clairvoyance, I think, with like your direction in life and the people that you surround yourself with and things you love to do and things that you don't necessarily love to do. I think for a long time I was feeling really stagnant. Even like towards the end of me creating videos on YouTube before I stopped posting, I feel like I was just pouring so much energy into videos that like weren't getting any traction. And that kind of takes me to another point that sticks out to me, is like, you gotta enjoy the journey. And that's also something that I think detached from about halfway through the process of making videos, is remembering to enjoy the journey. And like, it's not all about the money, it's not all about the lifestyle, it's not all about like, you know, helping people and creating a certain type of content, holding up certain image to your viewers. It's really about like, do you enjoy what you're doing? And I feel like I wasn't able to answer that question for myself for a little bit there. If someone were to ask me, do you really enjoy it? Because I would enjoy parts of it and other parts would feel like work. I think with this new style of videos, it like will be a lot more enjoyable for me, because I think it just better fits like my nature as a human being. Like, I'm a little spontaneous, I'm creative and like to change things up a lot. So I think this will work out a lot better for both of us. You know, I'm really excited to come back to the channel. I'm really excited to show you guys what I have to offer. I feel like I've finally reached a point in my life where I can confidently say that I truly believe in myself, and I feel confident about who I am and the value that I can provide to the world. And I feel like I was kind of like born to do this. If any of y'all can relate to the struggles that I've been through, just know that you will find answers. And sometimes the secret to find it is to stop searching. When you don't know where to go in life, you can always just work on yourself and focus on yourself. You can improve your personality, you can find new hobbies, you can read more books and discover more how your brain works and be a kinder, nicer person, more genuine. And eventually, when you just kind of let go of everything, I feel like that's when the truth sort of reveals itself to you. Well, I think I've pretty much covered all my bases at this point. I can't really think of anything else major that I want to say other than I'm back. I'm super excited to get back on the horse, and just remember that you got this. Each and every single one of you is special and has something very important and valuable to provide to the world. And there's traits that you have that can make the world a better place. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave you with a time lapse of this beautiful sunset here. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll catch you in the next one.